Race director John Patterson calls on the top qualifiers for a briefing near the starting line, laying the ground rules for the special race, the Kings of Kempsey.
Start here, finish here, 2 laps. Okay.
Surprisingly, American ace Steve Kelly is in. He managed only 14th fastest time in the prologue, but at the discretion of the race director, the 9 top qualifiers are chosen, +1.
I feel very privileged to race with everybody here.
What about your navigator?
Sean's having a great time, I think, and I think we're going to give him a real good show at the Kings of Kempsey right now.
Coming out for the Bridgestone International, do you think it's worthwhile so far?
Oh, definitely. I think, it'd be great if you get more guys from the States and some of the other countries to participate. It's a well-organized race. It's a long course. It's a rough course. And, I think we're going to have to go a long ways to try and beat some of the Australians.
Halfway through the field of 10, and American Steve Kelly, together with navigator NRTV's Sean Mortimer, get a crack at the title. The 111 Chaparral tries hard to get up with the pace, but it's a fairly heavy machine, not really designed for short course racing. There is also a feeling that Steve is saving his run for the big international.
A huge field of more than 140 vehicles are marshaled from the pit area and lined up in groups of 4. On a signal from the official starter, the managing director of Bridgestone Australia, Mr. Kunio Sataki, drops the flags to send them on their way in the grueling 9-hour marathon. .164 with Barry Johnson is the first away, getting out of the rough on the first corner. While back in the grid, the second group are waiting on the starter. Steve Kelly in 111 just manages to squeeze around Bruce Watman as he hits a tree root. This was responsible for tipping 2 buggies on the previous day.
Next into the pits was the US driver Steve Kelly. The Goodrich crew quickly poured over the car, including the owner Jimmy Smith. A quick refuel, and the Chaparral was ready for the rough and tough again.
Steve Kelly got a real taste of Australian off-roading. How is it?
It's real tight. I mean, we're just cool and make sure we don't make any mistakes.
How's the car going?
Huh?
How's the car going?
Is the car going good?
Yeah.
The car's going great. We're not hurting it. It's just fine.
How's the conditions out there, Steve?
They're muddy. You can see there's a lot of bog holes. It's just, the car's so big and long, it's just so hard to get through the trees that, in the first lap, we just made sure we got over for all the fast guys.
The car seems to be holding up really well. What about the traffic out there?
It's not bad. Everybody, you honk your horn, everybody moves over. It's great.
You enjoying it?
States, absolutely. Let's hope we can make it all the way around.
Jimmy Smith was very impressed with what he saw of Australian off-road racing and plans to build a car for next year, hopefully to win the Bridgestone International.
Well, I think things are going real good. We weren't real sure what type of cars they were running over here, and I think the Australian cars are extremely quick. They're light. We've got a little different type of racing in the States, but I think we're quite up in the top 10, and I think we're going to be up in the top 5. And if anything we have going for us is longevity. I think the car could run for several days in this type of terrain. So that's what we're looking forward to, is just outlasting them, possibly not outrunning them. But we're very happy with the way things are going at the present time.
Steve, what's your impression on the Australian off-roading?
I think it's great. I love the spectators that come out. I like the way you set it up. The people here are extremely helpful and extremely friendly, and there's a lot of things to be learned here that for us to do in the States.
Can we see some more Americans come out of here next year, do you think?
Certainly. We're talking about building a car just to bring here that we don't like to bring a car out here and run for 5th or 6th place, and that's what we're doing. And we knew yesterday we were lucky to be in the top 10, so I can tell you that if we come back next year, we'll bring a car to run up front with them.